everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched American Gods and the episode was called A Murder of Gods. And I was right about the leprechaun and the djinn, but I had no idea that Laura was going to be joining them. And they go off into Indiana on a quest and I thought, oh, that's where the whole crocodile bar plays in. And I don't know what it is about that set, but those lights are they're fierce and they look really bloody awesome. I mean, it's just algebraic. I mean, it's just completely unbelievable as to any kind of sets that I have seen before, and this show really packs a lot of that mixed in with SFX and just a plot line that keeps you on the edge of your seat. And of course, Mr. Wednesday and Shadow, they are on another track at another part of the US by themselves, and they're looking for Vulcan. And Vulcan's main object of prayer, or what comes through as prayer, would be guns. And I thought, we're getting into a very dicey issue here. And allow me to say this, and hopefully I won't get flamed, but I really support Second Amendment rights. However, I think that guns don't kill people, but people kill people. Because there are people who you can't trust them around a gun. I think background checks are good, but I don't think they do enough. I think that there should be more implements made, but here's what I believe. I don't think that the government should have control over that. I think that people put too much credence into the government, sadly, and they should take care of themselves. And there are people out there who are making smart guns, which I think is a step in the right direction, but it's not the solution to the problem. Solution to the problem would be having people take control of their ammunition problem, because it's just not something that's going to go away on its own. There are people who have a lot of violence ingrained in them, and of course I watched Through the Wormhole, and they were talking about the presence of a gun in a car actually makes you more aggressive, and I thought that's just the feral, the reptilian brain, the psychology of that is fascinating, and it's food for thought, definitely. But I noticed a lot of the imagery with Vulcan involved, and it was very reminiscent of Che Guevara and communism and revolution and Nazism, because they had the red band around their arms. I thought, oh boy, yeah, this is a little scary. And that whole part, I think it was meant to be evocative and provocative in that way, and it was just glorious, I thought. Of course, I love the leprechaun, even though he's a bastard, and the djinn is one of my favorite characters, even though the leprechaun just backlashes him with the fact that he's gay. He seems to be a little bit homophobic. I thought, yeah, well, that would make sense for a macho ginger to do that, just because. But he's a leprechaun, and I just always had a feeling that maybe he was, because he's looking after a golden coin. Why not? Of course, I love the djinn. I love his conversation with Laura when he says Allahu Akbar, and he translates it. He says, God is great. Of course, I know that because I know Arabic. Well, I know some Arabic. And she turns around and she looks at him and she says, life is great. And I thought, that statement in and of itself is integral to how we should live our lives. That was very powerful, I thought. The whole episode was, and just how controversial guns are, and they use a lot of stock footage with that. They replay the making of the guns. It started reminding me of how it's made. I just like the camera angles. The camera angles are so beautiful and artistic, and just how detailed it is in this. The crosses at the very this I can't even talk, but the symbolism at the very beginning with Jesus Christ himself was very indicative of what we've expected from past episodes. And they had it previously on where they were going through the encounter with Lucy in her 1950s form, and then coming in as Marilyn Monroe. Lucy was, she began, well, actually, she wasn't all that innocent when she was talking to the shadow at the first blush, and then we realized she is supposed to be a seductive influence upon him, sort of like Satan in the garden. I thought, yeah, makes sense that they would make her like that, and just this voluptuous sort of sensual character. I really love just what they've done with her. You love to hate her, but she's so coquettish, and you can't help but like her just because she's so flirty and feminine. And I mean, there's a lot about her that I like, and then there's some I hate. I think, ugh, women who do that, it makes me want to heave. It makes other women look bad, but still, it is what it is. And I just thought that the use of the crosses the very beginning was extremely interesting. The whole running from the border, that is a very disturbing thing that we're dealing with right now. It's up and coming, and I think it's going to be more in our faces. And even I watched an episode of Family Guy, and he made a comment about it. I thought, holy crap. When they just walk into Texas, and Peter looks at Lois, he's like, Lois, we just crossed over into Texas. And Quagmire says, you mean we crossed the border without even knowing about it? And then, of course, he said, Trump was right. This is a problem. And then he said, his wife really is a sweet piece of ass. And I thought, just trying to knock it off with lividity and just kind of move away from the real elephant in the room. But yeah, I think we're going to be facing that more as the year goes by. And I don't know. I mean, that's another topic that I could get upon. That I have a lot of friends who are international, so it's very near and dear to my heart. So I don't want to get into it. But sensational episode. I love the interaction between Vulcan and Wednesday, or Odin. And what happens to Vulcan is very intriguing. I thought, I wonder where they're going to go with this. But just the imagery with that, the fire, the power, the whole masculinity, the kind of virile nature of the gun. You think, oh, okay, he's waving his phallus, basically, and showing it off. He's just being a braggart about it. You think, oh, come on. You deserve to get yours, and he ultimately does. No spoilers intended, but very, very interesting. Of course, the leprechaun mentions he knows someone who is a friend of Jesus Christ himself and can resurrect the dead and whatnot. I'm thinking, oh, we're getting into some really interesting mythology here. I believe in resurrection, but of course a lot of people are probably going to be like, yeah, you believe in all that fairy tale crap? Yeah, I do. I have witnessed a lot of things in my life that give me pause. I don't have any real proof. I've seen a lot of things that make you question empirical method, and that's why I have faith as well, aside and beside my science. I think that the two complement each other's like alchemy. But that's all I got to say about this particular episode. It was absolutely sensational, and I look forward to even more in the future. So until then, live on, prosper. Ciao, tutti.